welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Adam, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Icons of the Realms Boneyard brick. So, pre-painted miniatures, 1 large or huge, 3 medium or small, generally. It's whatever. A brick has 8 boosters. There will be 3 rares throughout the brick. Started. Let's do the one that's jumping off the table here. So we'll begin the box. Now this set does not have particularly exciting figures. To my mind, to my opinion. That one would be kind of cool. It does, however, have a bunch of very useful figures. Figures I think I will actually get, a decent amount of use out of. So even though it wasn't like a bunch of them there, I'm like, oh, that's really exciting. I'm like, just in general, I'll get some use out of these figures, because they're undead is the theme. And then there's a few that are things like that. It's also useful, not quite undead, but oozes. This is an ochre jelly. It's pretty. Just the translucency with it. So yeah. That. Zoom in a bit. We have the Avatar of Death from the deck of many things, Ghouls. So, which could also just be used for other like uses. I mean, it's a figure of death. That's one that you can certainly find use for. This one is a Ghoul. And this one is a zombie. Specifically appears to be being taller than a normal figure. A Goliath zombie. So you get some racial zombies and skeletons in here to just help with variety. Our next box. Shows why I say typically less and less does the size matter. I gotta say. So we have our juvenile Kraken. That was one that was kind of cool. I don't have a full Kraken figure at this point, but figure that could come in handy. And so that was a huge. And in the same set, same box, we have this large, because they are less and less sticking to the large, huge single and the rest being that. So, which I like, because obviously, more bigger figures is cool. We have our Bone Naga. Looks neat. We have a Vampire Spawn. Definitely been times where I've needed and used pawns for Vampire Spawn. Well, I got an actual little mini. Here's another one that... So many of these, I'm like, these would have been great in my last campaign. Oh well. Death Slod. He's all spiky. So, well, not necessarily strictly undead. He is related to death. So I guess that ties in. Box 3. Ooh. This guy is severely bent back, but with those itty spindly legs, of course he is. But this is a hill giant skeleton. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can rebend him, but yeah. Skeletal Giant. This one's the hill giant variant. Skeleton, and this one, clearly, is a dwarf. I think there's even little bits of beard left on the skeleton. All the flesh is gone, but there's a bit of beard hanging on this dwarf. We have our spawn of Kios, which is nasty worm covered figure. Yuck. Yuck, yuck. And another skeleton. And they just say skeleton, but this one is smaller than a normal figure, so probably a gnome or halfling. Ooh, I like that one. Clear base like this probably could have been helpful for that giant to stay in spot, but this is a warhorse skeleton. All with saddle and such, prepping the idea that you're going to have a skeletal mount. Another of the worm guys, icky. Oh, this one. This would have been useful in my last game. The Crawling Claw, I had a character that I let have a Crawling Claw as a familiar. Great. Then this, oh. Deathlock. Not actually what I originally thought when I went, oh yeah. But ultimately, it could still be used for what I thought. Because if I don't pull the Lich, that could substitute for one easy enough. Beyond the halfway point now. Big boy. Ooh. This one, the Skittering Horror, I think Ravnica, the one of the magic, it's the magic set is what it's from. But man, is he a hefty 4 scale. Scary, tendrily, that's goofy. Yes, we have our Will-O-Wisp. Nice. We have, this looks like some sort of spectral. Oh, even better. Demi-Lich. So the smoke up to the floating skull. That one I know offhand is one of the rares. Got a Demi-Lich. And the Mummy. This set has been pretty bad about figures being a little bent so far. But yeah, Mummy. I actually have a game that might go into Egypt coming up at some point. that might prove useful. Box 6 is heavy. Just a noticeable weight difference in picking this box up. That's a rare. It's disgusting. Man, that is disgusting. It is a tropal. Don't actually know offhand what it is. It is very large, bulbous, with tendrils out of its mouth and forehead. Feet that clearly aren't used, withered hands. Stuff coming out of its eye. That is nasty. Nasty can be fun to put in front of the players, though, so. This one is a poltergeist. So, a table being knocked about. Stuff being thrown off of it. Another death slot. Great. I could use 2 of those. Phantom Warrior. So a translucent warrior-like figure with tendrils of smoke. Penultimate box here. Okay. Useful zombie like here. Ogre zombie. Man, those sores look nasty. Yeah. Vampire Spawn again. When I use them, I tend to have a few, so not bad. The Ghast, which is different than the Ghoul from earlier. It's got the weird tongue. And a Ghost. Love the translucency. Sort of flying through the air. Ghosts happen. In the final box. He's a puppy dog. In Okyo. I don't exactly remember. Part of my brain says something about it's kept by a pet by some, was it beholders maybe or something? Forget. I don't exactly remember, but I remember considering using it in my last game, and I don't think I ever did. Dread Warrior. So, again, sort of spectral, ghostly-like figure. You can see it kind of gets more translucent at the bottom. Sort of a shade, a cloak. Zombie, elf or half-elf zombie by the ears. Again, racial variant for Undead. Finally, our drowned assassin. The big growth. So, I believe the Demi-Lich, the big bulbous guy, and that Bone Naga were the rares. Like I said, I have the Demi-Lich, but that Deathlock will work for a normal Lich if I need him to. Got kind of a skeletal looking face. Has some little shiny metal bits ahead that look like it maybe a start of a crown. Casting a spell. Some sort of hand. But that'll work. Yeah. Some weird things that'll, between the big bulbous guy and the skittering horror, that'll let me do interesting boss figures, whether I use their stats as provided in the books or my own thing with them, which happens. And then lots of options for different kinds of skeletons and zombies and ghosts that all have a certain name on them, but many of which can be switched around and interchanged as needed. Obviously the ogre zombie is going to be an ogre zombie, but if I need an extra ghost and I have a dread warrior, you can do the trick kind of thing. So lots of just figures for undead, and undead come up as villains, so I was like, might as well pick up a selection of figures from it. I'll link down below where you can do the same. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff that helps us out. Bye.